Rancy's. Ooh.
That's Ransay.
Ransay
was the
region from Pokemon Conquest, which was, and I'm not kidding, the crossover with Nobunaga's Ambition. It is.
How do you remember that?
It is.
I played the crap out of it for a year.
It is complete. It is complete. Nope, that means Oda Nobunaga is completely canon to the Pokemon universe.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
I buy it.
It is basically a country that is pretty much at the technology state of feudal Japan. You didn't roll high enough to know like what it's going through right now, but you do know that she's wearing Ransay armor. And she talks with a very heavy accent that I'm not going to attempt to duplicate, but it's just a Japanese accent.
No, you don't want to sound white.
Yeah, I'm definitely not doing that. Because I know someone's going to be offended by my lousy Japanese accent, so there you go. Anyway, so that's this room, and the students are slightly distracted now because they see 4 people standing at the door while their professor's giving a lecture.
I'm just kind of peeking in.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't wanna disrupt anything.
Well, just a couple students peek, and then they go back to their work, just clacking away at their keyboards.
All right. Well, moving on. I suppose we should find the fossil person, guys.
Okay, you were the one that went into this room.
I was just looking around. I was curious. I've never seen a school like this before. It's very fancy.
Only to me.
I kind of like this with X because he's so quiet.
I know, X, we're barely hearing you, man. I don't know what's going on.
You hear me now?
A little better,
We
but
hear
you're
you.
still quiet.
You're just very quiet.
Yeah.
I'm right next to
Fossils.
no reason.
Why is there no like security guard here or something?
There was one at the
There we
gate.
go. How's that?
Better. Now we hear
Better. There you
Right, I
go.
don't know why it went down to super low.
Where are you
Yeah.
going?
Oh, Professor Mahogany's here.
Ooh. Ah.
you.
Oh, hey.
Anyway, Mahogany's in the middle of a speech. He's talking about, you know, at his lab, they're doing a whole bunch of stuff, and then he sees you guys peeking in, and he goes, "Oh ho! And there's my proteges," and he points, and that's the Ranger Luna.
Hiya.
The students kind of look at you. Once again, they're all various different ages, and it seems to be like a mixed classroom. You're not quite sure what he's teaching at the moment, but he just kind of greets you guys and invites you in.
Ah.
Hello.
Ooh.
I'm here.
Ooh.
And
What?
I'm here.
Ah.
Okay.
Ooh.
Anyway, he just briefly mentions that you guys are professional trainers, and you're on Team Fresh Floof, and they perk up immediately once he mentions you guys won the bug catching contest, and they all go, "Ooh," and there was like a couple of the older ones that just kind of scoff. And they're just kind of...
The fuck you just say?
No, they're kids. They're kids. They're
No,
kids.
no, I'm not really taking the piss.
Anyway, Mahogany looks at this professor, and he shakes her by the hand and says, "Well, thank you very much, Pine, for letting us... let me kind of commandeer your classroom for a bit. I'll be out of your hair." And Pine looks back at him, just gives a smile and a nod, and he just starts walking out, and he's ready to take you guys to the next room.
Okay.
Great.
I guess
He could take us to the fossil room.
Yes. Hello, Professor.
Anyway,
Hey, Professor Mahogany.
Mahogany looks at you and goes, "Oh, hi there. I'm glad you're here. I can introduce you to my friend, Professor Larch."
Mark.
Oh boy. Okay.
Anyway, Larch looks over and sees you guys. You enter this fairly large room that is completely different from the rest of the school. You can see a giant table in the middle with several laptops and notes on it, along with a strange machine in the back, and a few other things here and there. Professor Larch approaches you and goes, "Ah, so you guys are Team Fresh Floof. An interesting name."
Hi.
Yep, that's us.
He says, "I understand you have some fossils for me?"
That we do.
Yeah.
That we do, for sure.
Okay. He says, just hand him here, and I'll show you how our machine works.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I give him.
All right. He walks on up here, and he says, this is our resurrection machine. It's not quite as impressive as it sounds, as it can only replicate Pokemon, and he holds his hands up in the air into air quotes. He says, common fossil-type Pokemon. He loads them into
What's
the
that
machine.
supposed to mean?
Common.
He looks at you and goes, oh, no, not that fossil Pokemon are common. It just can only replicate things that have been, like, discovered in the past. Say we discover a new breed of Pokemon. We can't clone it here.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
see,
gotcha.
I got you.
He says, that's at all what I mean. It is impressive that you found 3 fossils, and he looks them up and inspects them, and it's clearly they are. You can see the claw marks from this one right here. And he loads them into the machine and says,
Exciting.
because it will take a few days in order to get them to, process and do all the stuff. He starts explaining a whole bunch of technobabble that don't make any sense whatsoever.
Okay, then. Well, you're the expert, so...
And he says,
Yeah.
since normally this is just a really good educational experience for my students, and he points around the room, and there are considerably less students in here than in anywhere else, and he informs, mostly because this class is an elective, and it's way too hard. And this is just a good learning experience for them. So they don't, they would normally charge if you went to somewhere, but this is free for them.
Ah. Cool.
He says while you're in town, you're free to take at least one class each at the academy if you want. Otherwise, he suggests spending some time in the city, getting to know people. You're allowed in the common room upstairs so long as you don't cause too much of a fuss. No one's going to say anything.
Yeah.
He gives
Cool.
What classes are there?
1 second. He gives you each a pass and says that this is good for one class. This is a very for-profit school, meaning it's very, very expensive to go here. And they do sometimes offer previews, like free samples to see if you want to, spend your money here, kind of thing.
Ah.
That is really cool, actually.
Yeah, I wish most fucking schools did that.
I know, right?
Yeah. So he says, yeah, you can audit one class anywhere. And he says there are excellent teachers here. He explains that Professor Yu is, she's multilingual, and that's what she mainly does, but she also does some history lessons. She has an optional class where she can tell you about her time in her country. Professor Larch...
She could speak Pokemese?
She can speak Kanto, Ransei, and Kalos.
Oh.
Interesting.
So basically Japanese, whatever common, I guess, whatever Kanto is, and French. So, let's see. He is Professor Larch, and he has a science class here where they do white hat hacking and biology. So you can take one of those 2 classes. Professor
hacking?
White hat hacking, yes. What white hat? Basically, he's just explaining. All right, this is a real world thing. White hat hackers are people who break into security systems in order to improve them.
I don't think a school teaches that.
He responds, but that we're not a normal school. We are the elite of the elite in a high-ranking society.
I think one of us should take the hacking class. It seems like a skill that could come in handy.
Since when? When do we haven't hacked anything at all?
Actually,
I do.
I am rather interested in that.
Okay. Professor Pine is a history professor. She can teach you about the history of this country and its relations to other countries. And then Professor Cedar can tell you all you need to know about the Pokemon League.
Oh, I know all about that.
Well, this league is a lot different.
Charlotte,
There's a lot of
biology.
nuanced rules.
Okay. Scarlett knows what she wants to do.
What does she want to do?
Biology.
Okay. That's with Pine. Okay. Or Large.
That
Alright.
wasn't actually one of the categories, but okay.
No, he
What?
he does biology too.
It was, it
Okay,
wasn't-
I heard like hacking, history, Battle League, and that was it.
No, there was a biology option.
What was the first one?
The first one I actually mentioned was biology.
Okay,
It was
I thought she was language because you just said like, oh, she could speak these.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, okay. So you has You has a first-hand account of Ransay and foreign language. This guy has biology and hacking, or just technology in general. Pine has history, and that's really the only thing she teaches. And then Cedar is a lot of nuances in the Pokemon League, and basically I could tell you game terms, I could tell you about the next upcoming gyms.
Hey, yo, this is Joey, legitimate business gnome. Now look, I know you're a busy guy, I'm a busy guy, I do not want to waste your time, but if you do not click on LoadingCrew's other videos, it might not be the healthiest thing for you. That is not a threat, that is a politely worded warning from one legitimate business gnome to another. So click the links in the description, click the annotations, have yourself a good time.